Jumping from that to the Sam Raimi series, Spider-Man 1. I think that was one of the best Spider-Man films because I remember at the time my only exposure to Spider-Man was the 94 cartoon series. Season 1 was awesome. And then season 2 going forward was just about introducing other Marvel characters.
Yeah.
So it kind of like MCU'd itself in a way.
You have to remember when Spider-Man came out, the one by Sam Raimi, and that was 17 years ago, 16 years ago.
2002.
The internet was in its infancy. Most people watched TV to get their news.
Yeah.
So it was an event.
It's Spider-Mania on the red carpet. We're going to introduce some of the stars to the little plastic counterparts. We're going to take you to the premiere of Spider-Man.
The thing about the Sam Raimi movies is that in reality, Sam Raimi's movies feel like Superman movies.
Who are you?
A friend.
Who are you?
You know who I am.
I do.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
I remember when I was going to go in to see it, I really was afraid that it was just because I was exposed to the TV series and then the old 1977 made-for-TV movie.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I'm just thinking, like, this is going to be goofy. This isn't going to be, like, a legitimate film. And I remember I walked into that movie, and then I came out, and I was like, wow, that was an actual good film.
Yeah, it was a film. That's the thing. Like,
it had soul and heart. It was made by someone who loves Spider-Man. I mean, that's why Sam Raimi got the job. Yeah. Because he was an avid comic collector. He loved Spider-Man. It really kind of exposed the heart of it. You know, like the Mary Jane, Peter Parker love story. He really liked her, but she couldn't like him because he was kind of a dork. But at the same time, he was always there to emotionally support her. And then the movie ends with like the biggest like self-cock block ever.
I will always be your friend.
Only a friend?
one thing this Homecoming movie didn't have is there wasn't like the prototypical like, oh, we're from New York, he's Spider-Man, he's Oz.
Man, you mess with New York! You mess with one of us, you mess with all of us!
Well, that happened because like that movie came out
right after
9/11,
yeah.
So they included that scene to show sort of how New York is still a strong place to be at. Yeah, there was like posters where like you could see the World Trade Center through Spider-Man's.
Yeah, they got rid of those real quick.
Yeah,
that movie was in a way like what the country needed. It changed the world. Okay, we can make some money off of this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and the reason it changed the world is because it was so good. The thing with Spider-Man, Sam Raimi Spider-Man Trilogy, except for the third one, is that they're very heartfelt and human and interpersonal in a way the other movies aren't necessarily too much.
Had to do what I had to do.
Mary Jane.
But Spider-Man 3, that was a problem both on Sam Raimi's behalf and the studio's behalf. Sam Raimi, as we said, hated the Venom, never wanted to put him in a movie.
It didn't fit with that movie. Those movies were very born out of the 60s and 70s Spider-Man energy. Venom is very hard. He's created by Todd McFarlane, the guy who invented Spawn. Right around the time that movie came out, everyone was so obsessed with movies being dark. Sony's like, oh, wait, hey, these kids here, they want this Venom guy. You should put him in. And then Sam Raimi's like, well, I don't really think that would fit. But okay, so we're going to cast this skinny, lanky, dorky guy from that 70s show.
Topher Grace, as Venom,
as Brock.
Was that like Sam Raimi just like intentionally saying "fuck you" to the studio?
It has to be because I don't know.
Because it was like that was the worst casting decision ever.
I like being bad. It makes me happy.
Spider-Man becomes the twerp because of the symbiote suit.
Your shots are so good.
I'd love to shoot you sometime.
And
dance number, strikes Mary Jane.
Now take on this.
Yeah, now that was the Sam Raimi aspect where I think Sam Raimi just didn't know how to make Peter Parker into an asshole, and Tobey Maguire didn't really know how to perform that. Sam Raimi got away with a lot of silly elements in the first two films. There was a lot of camp there. And here, he went way overboard.
Mm-hmm. That movie got away from, I think, everything those first two movies wanted to be, and it's got to be the studio messing with it. It had to be.
I think so.
Because I refuse to believe that's the movie Sam Raimi wanted to make.
It crushed.
It made a bunch of money,
Sam
but it wasn't.
Raimi.
Yeah.
Like, the reason they made the Amazing Spider-Man series, which I think is our next one, is because Sam Raimi had his ideas for the new one. Sony still didn't want to play ball with his ideas.
He wanted to do the Vulture.
The Vulture, he does corrupt things in order to fight what he sees as corruption. He thinks to himself, and they all have theirs. Where's mine?
Yeah, I want to do the Vulture. And at that point, I think audiences were so turned off by the negative reception, although financially it did great, that Spider-Man 3 got that they decided.
Yeah. You know, they wanted a Spider-Man movie for the internet age, I guess.
The Amazing Spider-Man series didn't do well because they tried to do some things that are a little different that weren't so Spider-Man-esque.
They tried to make the Dark Knight Spider-Man edition.
Yes,
that
the first one was like that.
Gross. Spider-Man in that movie shoots a guy in the balls with his impact webbing, hits him in the face like 3 times after like capturing him.
Yeah.
He's just like a little twerp asshole. He wasn't being a hero. He's being a little jerk.
One second. Stop, get off, man. No. Come on, let me go. Stop it.
Yeah.
You know, and then towards the end of the movie, there's like this rat that escapes from some goo, and he's all like gross and icky. I'm like, I don't really think this is what we want Spider-Man to be, everybody.
No, we don't want Spider-Man.
We don't need grim,
we don't
dark
need
Spider-Man.
half the movie to take place in a sewer.
Yeah,
either,
exactly. Oh, it was so weird. Like, the problem with that movie is just very grim, dark, and gross, and mean. And, like, the Spider-Man was a bully. He was a bully.
He was an asshole.
Yeah,
and like,
then,
I didn't like Peter Parker either because he's a skateboarding dude. Again, going too far from the source material.
That kind of stuff doesn't bug me because I think...
Why do I care about this guy if he's already, like, tall and handsome and got all this stuff?
I think the Honest trailer said something to the effect of, Peter Parker is just a handsome, easy, handsome, friendly, good with girls nerd that no one likes. And like...
Peter Parker was just an attractive, intelligent, likable, athletic, well-dressed teenage loser.
And then the second Amazing Spider-Man went the complete opposite direction. It was bright and sunny and fun.
This is not it, Spider.
But the other problem was, like, with Amazing Spider-Man 2, like, when they put, like, Harry Osborn in it
he
with
was
Norman.
Weird. That's the guy. Is he the guy that's going to be in Valerian and the Secret Planets, or am I making stuff
I don't know.
up?
I think so, yeah. I still remember him from The Place Beyond the Pines. He just kind of was put in the story. They had him as Hobgoblin. That plot kind of went nowhere, like, outside of killing Gwen Stacy, which I love that part.
Gwen. No, please.
Part of me thought, like, even though that movie wasn't the best, like, I would have loved to have seen what
At
a
least
third
there was
movie would have been.
consequences there.
Yeah, and like it felt again human. The fighting was good. Electro was was he Electro? Yeah, it was Electro, right? Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
Like the cool thing about Electro is he's a commentary on everybody who wants Spider-Man to be what they want it to be. He's like, well, Spider-Man's the reason I get up every day. I'm the biggest fan. Spider-Man, you're not being Spider-Man.
But the problem was he had the same problem as he had the Incredibles villain complex where it's like, oh, this guy wasn't nice to me. Now I'm going to become a villain. They did the same thing with Iron Man 3 where Guy Pearce hated Iron Man because he kind of blew him off.
I have a proposal I'm putting together myself. It's a privately funded think tank called Advanced Idea Mechanics.
She'll take both. One to throw away and one to not call.
I love that movie. I don't know why people... It's on Netflix, right?
Probably.
I'm going to go home and watch it because I don't know why people didn't like it.
I just didn't like it because I didn't care about the characters.
Yeah, I did. I don't know why. Like, I hated the first one and loved that one. I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean,
weird, right?
To each his own, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to be like, you like that movie? Fuck you. Your opinions suck.
Yeah, it could also be I was at a very dark point in my life, so it was nice to see just something I remember being familiar.
Yeah.
So it could be that.
For me, it was just, I don't know, it was just too much in one movie, and it was also just characters I didn't give a fuck about.
Yeah, that's weird. Like, when you think about it, the first Spider-Man... You got your Harry Osborn, you got your Norman Osborn, you got your Aunt May, you got your Mary Jane.
You got all
You got
the
your
formulas.
Betty Brant, you got your J. Jonah Jameson, you got your Robbie Robertson.
I love Jonah Jameson. I thought JK, no one can do...
They got to bring him back. They got to figure out some way to bring him back. I know he's Commissioner Gordon in Justice League, but I don't care.
I want Spider-Man!
Thank you, Spider-Man, for existing so long, and we will see you later.